Hey folks, I'm Pete and this is Pete's Eats Videos. Today we're going to make almond bark. We're not making any old almond bark. This one is absolutely delicious and it's going to be ready for you to take out over the holidays and Christmas to all the people you visit. So let's begin. Here's what you're going to need to make the almond bark. You're going to need obviously chocolate, but not any old chocolate. You need excellent chocolate for excellent almond bark. I buy the Lindt brand, big 2.5 kilogram bags. It's called Couverture. And I'm going to use today a milk chocolate with a dark chocolate mix. In terms of ingredients, in the chocolate we're going to put some salted almonds. Make sure they're salted. We're going to put corn flakes. It's going to give it a really nice crunch. I often put cashews in. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that today, but they're the one that I often put in. You'll also need a big pot with about a quarter filled with water and a big bowl to melt the chocolate in. You'll see that in a second. But what is also really important is a digital thermometer. It's not really expensive, but you definitely need it because this is really a process recipe where you really just have to follow the temperature going up and down of the chocolate. And parchment paper, you'll see you need quite a bit of parchment paper. So let's begin. I've got my bowl. It's on the water, which I'm gonna get simmering soon. It's on sort of a medium heat. I don't want it to be boiling rapidly. I just want a nice simmer of that water. So that's started. I've got it turned on. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the milk chocolate into the bowl. I'm making a big batch today, so that's the entire 2.5 kilograms of chocolate. And we'll just let that melt down. I need to get that down to a up to a temperature of between 45 and 50 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to wait till this is melted and then I'm going to start measuring the temperature to ensure that it melts up to 45 to 50 degrees Celsius. Still a ways, it's just melting down nicely now. It's been about 10 minutes. It's almost fully melted now. The temperature, I'm not sure if you can read that, but the temperature on the thermometer right now says 39 degrees Celsius, and we need to bring it to 45 to 50 degrees Celsius. So just in a bit, it'll be ready, and then I'm going to take it off of the boiling water and we'll set it aside to cool. Okay, so the chocolate has now reached the 45 or a little bit more degrees Celsius, and we need to cool it down. This takes a bit of time. So to help out with the process, what I do is I add some dark chocolate to help cool it down. They say you can add up to 33% of the original volume. I just add enough dark chocolate to make it a nice mixture. The milk chocolate on its own is too kiddie-ish for me, so when you add the dark chocolate, it makes it a lot more elegant. So I'm going to add some dark chocolate now. I'm going to just eyeball it. That's probably going to be about a good 2 cups of dark chocolate. I'm going to mix that right in. As long as I don't exceed a third of the original, like the 2.5 kilograms, a third of that, then I'm okay. I think this should be good, so I'm going to just mix it in until it melts nicely. That's going to help bring the temperature down. My objective now is to get the temperature down to around 26 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to be stirring that every once in a while to help it cool down and reach that temperature. So we'll check in about 15 or 20 minutes. This does take a bit of time. Okay, so now this is really thickened up. We're almost at our target temperature between 26 and 27 degrees Celsius. Now what we have to do is we have to heat it up to 30 to 31 degrees. Just takes a minute on the stove. Now note, when this was cooling down, I stirred it, and the more you stir it, the better. I stirred it at least a minute or so every couple of minutes. It takes a long time, but it's well worth it. So let's heat this up now. There you go, it just took a minute. It's heated up to 30 degrees. I'm going to take it right off. Now we're going to mix in the almonds and the corn flakes. Sometimes, as I said, I put in cashews. I'm not going to do that today. This is totally a matter of preference. So once I start mixing these in, like, don't be answering the phone. This is time critical now, okay? So let's put a bunch of almonds in there. I don't know, about half a bag. That's quite a few almonds, but we do have a lot of chocolate, and we'll mix those in. Good. And of course it depends on how nutty and how crunchy you want it, but I'm going to put a bunch of corn flakes in as well. That's quite a few. And we'll mix that right in. So here we go. We're gonna pour this huge amount of bark. We're gonna pour it right out. So let's spread that out nice and thin on the parchment. There we go. That should work. That's fine. And we'll wait for that to harden up, and then it will be ready to serve. This is it. Okay, so it's firmed right up now, and it's ready to just break up into big chunks. Make them any size you want, and away you go. Beautiful, beautiful almond bark.